Hey guys, welcome back to Token Tech. Today I'm doing a quick video on what has basically come to light about the Zen 2 architecture or Ryzen 3000 in regards to temperature and overclocking and things like that. Now I did do a video already on this talking about voltages and temperatures and overclocking and so on, and that video's done quite well, so I want to do this follow-up to give you guys a bit more information. To be honest, I wanted to do this video about a week and a half ago, but I just didn't have the equipment, and I also was out of town, so I wasn't here to actually do the video. Now, I did get an external capture card, so we can actually look at my desktop, look at my BIOS, and do some other things without affecting any of the temperatures or the voltage or the load on the CPU. So this will make things a bit easier to record. Anyways, getting on with the video. So, in the last one, I was showing concerns for high temperatures and high voltage and all that stuff, and basically what's come to light since then is that AMD has confirmed that all of this is by design. This is how the Zen 2 architecture works. It runs a little bit warmer, and that's basically because of the 7 nanometer design, and it has higher voltage, again, basically because of the 7 nanometer design, but it's all totally safe. Basically, they're assuring you and me that as long as you're not hitting thermal junction or 95 degrees Celsius, you're basically fine. It's okay to idle a little bit warmer because you're not causing any damage, and as long as your load temperatures don't go above, like I said, 95 degrees Celsius, you're totally fine. Okay, so to get on with this, as you can see here, I'm using Ryzen Master now to monitor my CPU temperatures, and as you can see, we're doing somewhere around 36, 35, 37 degrees Celsius on idle, which is 100% normal. This is what you should see. This is what everyone should see. This is a new update on Ryzen Master, which allows it to kind of see the entire chip versus just showing you the hot spot. Before it used to show you just the peak temperature, the highest temperature, the hottest value. Now it can show you the entire, more accurately show you what the entire chip is looking like. So instead of giving you the hottest point, it's giving you basically like an average of the overall. So you're showing what we're more used to seeing on older Ryzen chips and Intel chips, which is kind of the package temperature, if you will. So with 36 degrees Celsius, totally fine. I think most people would be more than happy with that. And just so you know, I did have my computer running for a while, so this isn't a cold computer, if you want to put it that way. I am liquid cooled, as some of you might know, so the liquid has had time to warm up, if you will. So 37, 36 degrees, I think a lot of people will be happy with that. And again, you have to get the new Ryzen Master software to actually see these temperatures. These are accurate, and it's not causing the observer effect, something that we have seen when using hardware info or hardware monitor, whatever software that was, that other people using. It causes kind of this feedback loop where it's putting a light load on the CPU, which causes the CPU to boost up, which when it boosts up, it causes temperatures to go up. And so you're watching your CPU boost and causing higher temperatures. As you can see here, I'm above 1.4 volts, but my temperatures are still quite low. And the power draw is almost nothing. It's pretty awesome. Now, again, with those other ones, you're causing the observer effect, and it looks like the temperature is very high. It looks like it might be pulling a bit more power. Voltage might be going through the roof, and it can be a little scary. I'll admit, it does get a little concerning, but it's because of the way that those softwares work and that they're not optimized yet for the new Zen 2 architecture. Okay, so you have nothing to worry about, but use Ryzen Master if you really want to check out your temperatures and your voltage and all that stuff. This actually works really well for those things. Okay, now Ryzen, or I should say AMD has also said that in Ryzen, letting everything on default is safe. They have not said what is a safe voltage. That's something I got wrong in my last video. They never confirmed that it was safe or not safe voltage. They just said as long as it's running stock settings in your motherboard, you should be totally safe. Okay, so everything up until around 1.5 volts is considered stock, is considered safe. So all of that is technically safe voltage. Again, do what you feel is right, but all of that is technically safe voltage. So that's what we have going on here. And so I would recommend using Ryzen Master to monitor temperatures. Now, as you can see, as I start moving the mouse around, you'll see the temperatures go back up. But as soon as I stop that and the CPU goes back basically to sleep, temperatures come right back down. It's pretty awesome. I can give you guys a little bit of a test we're going to look at Cinebench R15. And what this will do is it will put a load on our CPU so we can see how the temperatures will spike and then drop. Again, that's something we weren't seeing before, and there's a reason for that as well. So we'll go ahead and hit. So you're going to see it's going to go. Now it's going to boost up to about 4.2 on its own. This is on everything on auto. Again, that's decent, but it isn't where we would want it to be. Personally, this chip can do better. I know it can because I can overclock it and do better. But 4.2, and you can see temperatures are about 80 degrees, 7 to 80 degrees Celsius. And again, that's because of the voltage and all that and boosting. But then you can see it quickly jumps back down. Now before we were seeing that it was hanging a bit, and again, because it's going for the hotspot and the way the 7nm process, or I should say process, the fact that it's so small, it has a harder time getting rid of that heat. But the way that it is showing us the temperatures now, we're actually seeing it drop back down fairly quickly. Now again, as you can see, I can get better scores out of this over here on the left hand side, and that's basically because of the boosting. This is something that a lot of people have been talking about, how they're not boosting quite as high as they should be. I don't know if AMD can do anything about that, but you can always manually overclock, and I have a separate video coming up where I'll talk about that. Now there is a new chipset driver out. You can go and download a new chipset driver for Zen 2, and it should help temperatures even more, and they'll have new Ryzen power plans that you can set in Windows. Now I have not downloaded these because they actually take away a feature. So these chips were designed to be able to ramp up within 1 to 2 milliseconds. This was kind of what was causing that observer effect, because they're ramping up so quickly that the monitoring software was just showing the super high temperature. What that means is that now, since that's turned off, and it will take about 15 milliseconds to respond, when you're doing light tasks, you know, bursty type tasks, things that you want Boost to respond to, it's not going to respond to you right away. And so you might see a little bit of a lag or delay in those types of workloads, like opening an application. However, when you're doing sustained work like rendering a video or playing a video game, you'll basically have no effect on that at all. So that'll be the same. So it's up to you if you value that or not. I'm going to leave it alone because temperatures already look better with this new software to monitor it better. But if it really bothers you, go ahead and download those. You can get them from AMD or your motherboard manufacturer's website and install them, use the new power plans, let it do its thing. But in my opinion, they're kind of taking away a feature by doing it when there was nothing wrong with the chips to begin with. All right, so now that is all done. I'm just going to show you guys my BIOS settings because I can do that. No, I don't want to save that. So the really cool thing about having a capture card is that I can show you guys what my BIOS looks like. So I have an X370 Crosshair 6 Hero, pretty awesome motherboard. I only spent $90 on this. I got it new at a Micro Center, and long story short, they messed up the one that I got, so they gave me a new one for $90. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. Anyways, we're running 7106 is the BIOS version. If we go over here, you can see that I have my memory overclocked, the DOCP setting, and the CPU core ratio to auto, and voltage set to auto. So we're running everything on auto. This is what AMD says is safe. Just leave everything stock, and there you go. Now down here, if you go under advanced, you do have overclocking, and this is where you can get into precision boost overdrive. Right, if I go here, you see it right there. I don't really mess with that because in my experience so far, it hasn't really done anything. Now if that changes in the future, sure, I'll get in there and start messing with it. And here's where you'll see your XFR enhancement. You can do a little bit more with that as well. But again, in my experience, I haven't seen much change, if anything at all, with those. So I just leave those off. If you have an Asus motherboard, your BIOS will look something like this. So I hope that helps you get around there. Just hit save and reset, and it'll restart my computer back to Windows. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, that those voltages were totally fine. Ryzen Master, the newest update, will show you more accurate temperatures. So if you want to check out your temperatures, I suggest using that. None of the other ones really work properly. That will show you the actual idle temperatures of your CPU. And if you really want to take things to the next level and sacrifice a slight tiny bit of performance, you can go ahead and download those new drivers, and what that'll do is basically uh, take away how quickly it boosts up. A lot of these temperatures are coming from it's boosting, not so much the voltage. As you saw, we were running, over 1.4 volts, but because they weren't boosting, we were getting just normal temperatures. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.